Guys, welcome back to the channel. We're back in the capital after that amazing weekend of football in the Super Clash. Kumasi Asante Kotoko winning. The aftermath of it, that controversial penalty decision and all. Updates are forthcoming on that respect concerning the referee's decision. But today it's time to give you an update on the Inaki brothers. The new patriotic part has talked on the Inaki brothers. According to Kennedy Ejapong, the Inaki brothers want to play for Ghana, but they have an issue with the Ghana national team along with the appearance which they confided in him on. We're also going to talk about the Ghana Black Stars and the assistant coach DIDI DRAMANI. He has revealed the reason why the squad was released late ahead of that Nigeria Super Eagles game in the World Cup playoffs. We're also going to hear from Baby Jet Asamoah Gyan, who has talked up his chances of making it to Qatar 2022. He's also talked about the tweet he gave following Majid Ashimeru's exclusion from the Ghana team that faced Nigeria and overcame them in the World Cup playoffs. We'll look at all that today. As usual, subscribe if you have not. Click on the notification bell to get more updates. But before we get into the Inaki brothers news, we'll talk about the Ghana Black Stars team and DIDI DRAMANI explaining to us why the squad was released late for that game. We remember it became an issue, a topical one at that, and we all wanted the squad released. We all wanted to know which players we were going to see at the Baba Yara Sports Stadium on that Friday the 25th, which we end a goalless draw on. We all wanted to know, and it became a topic of discussion. I said at the time that should we win the game, it would not matter, and truly it doesn't matter now. But DIDI DRAMANI has explained in depth what went on behind the scenes before the Black Stars named their squad ahead of that double header versus the Nigerian Super Eagles. He says in team building, we all brought our ideas, so we categorize them in different phases. You have to categorize them according to positions, and that will make it easier when looking for them. We were having more players. Even the World Football Governing Body FIFA knows the time you have to release the list, the time you serve them the list for it to be linked into their system. And once we were within that time, we didn't see it to be difficult. When you release the list earlier, whilst the player is playing for his club, and if there's an injury, you have to make some changes. While making changes, we evicted some of the players and brought in others so that we can get a player who is relevant to the team, to the country, and his playing career. We won't bring a player just because of his name. We select based on what he can do. Somebody like Asamoah Gyan, Otto went to meet the player and his manager before he was snatched. It is a respect for the player, and that will even convince him to come. We spoke to many of the guys despite not being invited. I also spoke to Wakasu, though he was injured. We were in talks with him. We did the same to other players on phone. George, Chris, and Otto and I were all involved, so we can get their services in the future, if not today. There were a lot of talks and collaborations till we try to cooperate with the system before even thinking about the squad and thinking about the training elements and thinking about the opponent and other things. So a lot of things went on behind the scenes that influenced the squad list that eventually did come out, and that was the reason why the squad list was delayed. According to him, the delay in naming of the squad for the epic two-legged encounter was to make sure the right players named will make it for the game, and I think they did that, and they got us to the World Cup, and we are happy with that, and this insight is quite refreshing. My next story has to do with the Inaki brothers. Kennedy Ejapong, MP for Asin North, has spoke about the Inaki brothers, and he has relations with their parents, and according to him, they confided in him as to why they are reluctant to play for Ghana. Speaking in an interview, he stated how harsh criticisms from the media affects players. The outspoken politician said the Inaki brothers, despite being willing to play for the national team, are feeling reluctant due to the abuse and harsh criticism players encounter from the media when they make errors. Before I continue to read his quote from that interview, I think I've talked about this before, and I think the mother of the players reiterated this. And I have said in that video that I made that nowhere in this world will players ever not be criticized if they do not do well. It's very, 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 very uncommon for that to happen, especially in a big match, a World Cup game that can send it to the next stage or something. Players will always receive hard criticism. Inaki Williams, if this is what he told Kennedy Japan, I would be quite surprised because he then, after that news I brought you the other time, that video I talked about this, went on to grant an interview to ESPN where he said low of ESPN, where he went on to say that he feels more Spanish than Ghanaian and feels his place in the Black Stars might not be something he deserves. But this is what he says. That's what Kennedy Japan came out with. Let's quote him. He says, the two boys really like me and they are in Atletico Bilbao. They are brothers, he told Happy FM in the interview. The GFA came to see me, that I have close ties with them. They told me that they want to play, but the way we criticize these players is too much, especially the media. So they get discouraged because of that. They don't want to. The MPP guru also mentioned that for Ghana football to develop, all people with close ties to teams should not be allowed to manage the FA due to favoritism. This part I agree with. He says every human being always tries to favor his team members and players. If these players are not fit and they go to the World Cup, they are able to sell these players. So they will always favor their players. We need an independent GFA. I don't know why they allow only football people to administer the GFA or become the GFA president. I don't subscribe to that. And I'm someone, probably, I also don't subscribe to that because the influence he is talking about is very true. And if the player is not good, they push him to the World Cup and they're able to raise his selling price and sell him at a higher price and make money. It is an inescapable fact that this will happen if we keep having people who are linked or have teams managing the Ghana Football Association and heading the Ghana Football Association. These are some of the perks that will happen. On to the Inaki Williams issue, I was quite surprised they told him this. Maybe he had not seen that interview they had with ESPN. Inaki in particular had with ESPN. I'm sure if he did, immediately they told him this, he would have probed them further. So why grant that interview? And nowhere in this world will you not be criticized. Imagine Inaki Williams going to play for Spain and he misses a penalty that could have won them the World Cup, taking them to the semi-final, taking them to the final. You will be battered. You will be criticized. It happens everywhere across the globe, and I don't think that is reason enough. But that's the reason they gave the Asin North MP. Let me know your thoughts in the comments box on this one. I think it's not reason enough. It happens everywhere, but it's a personal decision. And if that is why they do not want to play for Ghana, quite unfortunate, but not something we should crack our heads over. My final story has to do with baby jet Asamoah Gyan, who Kennedy Japan says should be taken to the World Cup, not because he is going to play, but because he can motivate the players. And now he says that Asamoah Gyan is old, but he can motivate the team. His presence alone will make a difference. So when they are going and they send old players along to motivate them, it can be a game changer, he said. Asamoah Gyan himself has talked up his chances of making it to the World Cup in Qatar 2022. He says he is not fit yet. Let's have a listen to what he had to say exactly.
Sir, this year me retire any day. I think, sir, I have to end the call up. I will say, if to me, I training na minyati me bo. May perform. I know they have to. I will say me end this call up. And you say, Asamoah Gyan, was share good, so you see, intino. No, it doesn't work like that. For me, I think say I have to end the call up. I will say me fit. Na me pet team be a me bo. Me bo me home na. To me a frame ya. That one I can honor the invitation.
There, yeah, baby jet Asamoah Gyan there talking up his chances. He has to end the call up. He has not retired, he said once again, and he has to end the call up. according to him. And now he also spoke about his outburst following the release of the squad, which excluded Majid Ashimeru. And this is what he had to say. He says he follows most of the guys in Europe. Ashimeru, I don't know him anywhere. But the thing is, I like to say it as it is. And that's why people can't deal with me. I look in your face and tell you the truth. When the list came out, I felt he should have been in the team, he said. He plays for Anderlecht. It's a big team in Belgium, and he has been doing very well this season. He's a key member of the team, so I felt even if he was not part of the coach's team, he should be part of the team, because comparing him with other players, he was the man in form. I was just expressing my opinion when I tweeted about Majid Ashimeru. The Black Stars managed to qualify for the World Cup nonetheless, despite Ashimeru's absence. And Asamoah Gyan, yes, he's a fan now, but I felt that, as I said at that time, that he should have done it differently. He knows the coach. He was a former teammate of Baby Asamoah Gyan. He could have picked up the phone and called him and asked for reasons than coming out on social media to break out like that. But hey, that was his opinion, and he said it quite clearly here. He felt Ashimeru should have been in there. So that has been it for today. Talking about why the Black Star squad was released late, Masoudi DRAMANI explaining it to us. Baby Asamoah Gyan in his World Cup chances, he says that he is not retired. He's still in contention, but he has to earn the call up. He explained why he got an outburst on the Ashimeru omission, and Kennedy Japan telling us what the Inaki brothers told him about playing for Ghana. The criticism is too much, but where are you not criticized if you underperform, is my counter question. I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a great day. Enjoy the rest of the week.